Hi everyone, welcome to the Saturday devotional. I'm glad you're joining me, and I'm standing on the front street, in front of the house, in the street right by my van, because something that happened on Thursday morning. And we got a knock on the door at 4 in the morning, came out, it was the police, and some drunk driver had crashed into the car. I'll show it to you in a second. And so they needed all the things like my license and registration and all that. And luckily they caught the guy and everything's being taken care of with insurance and so forth. But it got me thinking about stewardship, and I think that's the important thing. In Luke 19, there's probably one of the greatest acts of stewardship besides the widow's mite that happens, that takes place. And it's when Jesus tells his disciples to go into the city and get a colt, which he's going to ride on it for Palm Sunday. And of course, this is a little early to be covering this topic, but I thought it came to mind anyway, so I thought it's worth taking a look at. And so he says, go into the town, get a colt. If you see a colt tied up, untied, bring it to me. If anybody ever asks you about the fact that you're untying it, just say the master has need of it. And so they go into town. They certainly see the colt. It's tied up there. They get it and start untying it. And of course, the owner comes out and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he says, "Why are you untying that colt?" And they say to him, "Well, the master has need of it." And he lets it go. He lets them have it. And we don't know anything about this guy. It doesn't say anything else except the fact that we know he must have been a great steward. And maybe he even knew the master. I don't know. But I think that's a great act of stewardship. He realized everything he had belonged to God, and if God asked for it, then he gives it. And so that's what I was thinking about in this Luke 19 passage when I went through this with the smashed up car. Now, that just reminds us that the car, the house, my truck, whatever, all belong to God. I'm just a steward of it. I'm just managing it for him. And so my job is to take care of it. When these kinds of things happen, they're not my possessions. I give it up to God. That's what true stewardship is, managing the resources of another. And so for today's devotion, when things like this happen, just reminds me, oh yeah, that's right. It's not mine. It belongs to the Lord. I'm going to take care of it. I've been blessed with it. I'm going to bless others with it. If somebody has need of it for ministry, I'm going to use it. Truck, van, whatever we can do, our home, whatever the case is, because it's really not ours. We've just been blessed with it. And so I think that's the perspective we have to have as Christians. And I think that if you can be doing that today out of that devotion, that's a good step in the right direction. And I'm preaching to myself and teaching to myself as much as anybody that as I walk with the Lord, I'm always mindful when these things kind of happen, it triggers that, oh yeah, wait a minute. All of these are not my possessions, but they belong to God. All right? Okay, I'm so glad you joined me, and I will see you next Saturday.